Ladies and gentlemen, it was supposed to be just another bright morning on Live with Kelly and Mark. The cameras rolled, the studio lights shimmered, and the audience cheered with the same enthusiasm they always did. But today felt different. From the moment Kelly Ripa walked onto the set, wearing a soft cream dress and a trembling smile, something in the air shifted, something final. Her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, sensed it immediately. "You okay, Kel?" he asked quietly as the applause faded. Kelly nodded, though her eyes told a different story. She took her seat, glanced around the studio, the place that had been her second home for more than a decade, and sighed softly. When the cameras went live, she began the show as usual, bubbly, sharp, effortlessly charming. But a few minutes in, her voice wavered. "Before we start," she said, looking into the camera with glistening eyes, "there's something I need to share." The audience grew still. Mark reached for her hand under the desk. Kelly smiled faintly, but her fingers trembled as she intertwined them with his. "I've been doing this show for a long time," she began, her voice cracking slightly. "More than half my life, really. You've all been with me through everything. My highs, my lows, my kids growing up, my gray hairs, and my wild stories that probably embarrassed my family." A few chuckles rippled through the audience, but they quickly quieted. Kelly looked down for a moment, then back up, tears now welling in her eyes. "But this is it." Gasps filled the studio. Mark's eyes widened in shock. "Wait, what do you mean, this is it?" he asked, his voice soft but heavy. Kelly took a deep breath. "I mean, I'm saying goodbye. After this season, I'll be leaving Live." Her words hung in the air, echoing through the stunned silence. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Even the camera operators looked frozen. Then, as if a collective wave of disbelief swept through the room, the audience murmured, some even wiping tears from their eyes. Kelly continued, her voice breaking. "This show has been my family. The crew, the audience, my co-hosts, all of you. You've seen me laugh until I cried and cry until I laughed. You've seen me as a mom, a wife, and a woman figuring life out on live television every morning. But I think it's time for me to take a step back and live a little more off-camera." Mark squeezed her hand tightly. "Kel, I had no idea you were going to say this," he whispered. She smiled through her tears. "I know. I wanted it to come from my heart, not from a press release." The audience erupted in applause. Not the usual joyful cheer, but a long, emotional standing ovation. Kelly stood, overwhelmed, tears rolling freely down her cheeks. "I don't know what I'll do without hearing you all laugh with me every morning," she said, her voice trembling. "You've made millions of people smile every day. You deserve whatever comes next." Kelly turned back to the audience, her voice barely a whisper. "I'll never forget you. Ever." As the credits rolled, she waved through tears, her smile bittersweet, radiant but aching. Viewers across the country were left in stunned silence, their social media feeds instantly flooding with heartbreak and gratitude. "Thank you for the memories, Kelly. You made mornings brighter for 23 years. Live won't be the same without you." And as the final notes of the show's theme faded, Kelly Ripa stepped away from the desk, paused one last time at the edge of the stage, and whispered to herself, unheard by the cameras, "This really is it."